Confirmation, boy. That's what. That's one where the Holy Ghost slap you up and say, "This is for you." Like,
dude.
yeah. You absolutely right, man. And you know, I like your answer, you know, because with everything that you're standing on, you can definitely see the reward, the blessing that our fathers is giving to you right now, man.
Absolutely.
So heck yeah, man. So that's what's up, man. You're even more of a walking testimony of what the Lord can do, man. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Well, you know, so I guess we'll go ahead and dive on into this album. Man. So if you have not, I don't know what rock you hiding under. I don't know where you been, especially if you're a CHH enthusiast, you know, if that's your genre. But this man literally has one of the dopest albums out right now called The Journey 2. It's a no skip track. He did 300,000. Is that what it was?
300,000.
Yeah. Let me get it right. Don't let me shortchange. Right. Don't let me shortchange my brother now.
Nah, you got it.
Hey, in the first week, 300,000. He's got merch. You can see it all back there. You got the hat on. You got posters. You're gonna buy physical copies. All of that. So that's my little plug before we get going in it. You know, yeah, man. So with the first one, I'm a full disclosure. When because Daryl told me about you, right? And when I listened to the first one, I was like, it's cool. It's all right. I was like, you know, it ain't just Mike, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah.
But man, when I heard this one, I was like, oh man, let me step my game up. Let me do a little bit more.
You know what? I love that because, you know, and I love your honesty with that because I'm not afraid of the process. You get what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of the process. I'm not afraid of saying, okay, here's where I am and here's where I want to be and continue to move to that. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of artists, they ain't releasing nothing until they reach there. And they may never release because they're trying to get there. I'm confident at where I'm at when I'm at there. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. I know this is an 8-lap race, but I did lap 1 great. You know what I'm saying? Lap 2, I'm gonna be better. You get what I'm saying? But I'm still proud of lap 1 because I did it. You get what I'm saying? So I'm never afraid of the progress in the journey. That's literally why I came up with the whole concept of the journey to begin with.
And yeah, man, and that goes right in line with what I was gonna ask you, that process from the journey 1 to the journey 2. And me, myself, you know, I'm from the old school, you know. I remember Master P's first tapes and, you know, Lil Wayne before he was Wheezy Baby and stuff, and just seeing artists make that process and that journey, you know, it's always like you really lock onto them and become a fan. Like I'm becoming a fan of you now, you know. Man. So, you know, let's dive into some of these tracks, man. You know, earlier you talked about the intro with your pastors, and I definitely love how you started it out. I'm somebody who says, you know, an album should feel like a roller coaster, you know. It should bring you up, bring you down, turns, twists, but you never get tired of it, you know. So I like how you started it where it was just that build with your pastors. You know, now that I know that those was your pastors, but what was your overall thing? What was your overall thing to when you sat down and started the journey too?
Man, it started in the middle of the night. I just heard I just kept hearing two bars just in my head over and over and over. It's the two bars in the intro, right? I kept hearing it over and over and over. And, you know, I mean, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, I typically don't even wake up and hear stuff like that. But I heard it and I was like, you know what, let me get up and actually type it into my phone. Let me put it into my phone to make sure I don't forget these two bars.
Yeah.
All right, so I got up, I put in my phone, and the spirit led me to just keep writing. So I kept writing. This is maybe a month or two after the release of the first album. So I'm saying, when I didn't have any real intentions of releasing another album so soon, to be honest, you get what I'm saying? Because I put so much work into the first one while being on dialysis and everything with my kidneys. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to break.
If I could say, man, if you don't know that story about how this man recorded his first album while on dialysis, go listen to the first pod, because it was tough. Man, I commend you, bro. I commend you.
That's obedience. Obedience. You get what I'm saying? Obedience. But I decided, like, I kept hearing those bars, and next thing I know, the whole 16 was written. Whole 16 was written. And at this point, it's almost like 6-7 o'clock in the morning, and so now I'm like, let me just go to bed now. But before I did, something told me to just go to IG real quick. So I open up my IG, you know, and I see a reel from the same pastor, Pastor Josh Fakir.
Okay.
I see a reel from him. And in the reel, he's talking about Galatians 6:9, you know, and he's talking about, you know, just never grow tired of doing the right things, for you shall reap a harvest. You know, and I was like, man, that's so powerful, because that's kind of where my mindset is right now after writing that 16, right? And then when I went to go see the actual cover of the reel, like the picture that he used for the reel, it said Journey TOO, like Journey 2. But in my mind, I'm seeing Journey 2.
Confirmations.
Confirmation,
boy. That's what. That's one where the Holy Ghost slap you up and say, "This is for you." Like,
dude,
yeah, man.
Dude, when I seen that, I'm like, oh, that's it. That's it. You know, I spent that whole rest of the day just coming up with more concepts, more things to put to it. And
man, that's awesome.
Reel, what he was saying in that reel, I used that clip for the intro.
So that's
exactly that same thing he says it. That's exactly what the reel was said in the reel.
So that spirit led. That's
man.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where you just say, I can't even take credit for it. That's all. That's all the Father. Yeah,
literally, and everything fits so perfect, because even the timing of everything he said, it fell right in line with that opening of the beat. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was all, I was just like, that's all God. That's confirmation, and I got to do it now.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. And I'm glad you did. For you and for me, I'm glad you did. Yeah, because you know, man, something about this album, you know, like I said, it's a roller coaster. I'm a truck driver, you know, that's my 9 to 5. And I mean, it's more than a 9 to 5. That's what I love, driving trucks. But, man, I can put your album on and just, it's a no skip album, B. Like,
praise God.
I mean, seriously, I'm not exaggerating. It's a no skip album. And so it's so nice to hear that you started it with the spirit. And then we'll get into a little bit more about how you ended it. You ended it in the spirit as well. And man, I'm just so glad. So let me ask you, what do you feel you didn't address in the Journey 1 that you felt like, okay, I gotta address this in the Journey 2? You understand?
I do. You know what? I would say like it was more so. It wasn't so much there wasn't things that I didn't address, but it was more so kind of like a diary, right? So the Journey 1, I was telling you where I was during that time.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So the Journey 1 was really me getting over my fears. I just really started getting over my fears of being an artist to begin with. You get what I'm saying? So when you're hearing a lot of the songs from the first one, it's just, I'm talking about all the doubt that I've had over the years, you know, from my parents to certain people and all of these things. But, you know, now I'm going to step on all faith. I'm going to step to the calling that God has given for me. And I'm going to step out and start my journey. And that's literally where I was at the time with my music career. You get what I'm saying? So now when the journey 2 comes, this is where I'm at right now, mentally, spiritually, and everything. So it's more so, these albums are more so a snapshot of where I am in life, a snapshot of where I am in my journey. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's just it. Like, I talk about my kidney more in this project than the last one because it just happened in the last one.
Right.
And I'm telling you about everything older than that I had to overcome just to start this journey.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Versus now it's like, that kidney issue became a testimony within itself.
Yeah.
So now I got to glorify that. You get what I'm saying? So,
and you know, we love a testimony, man. Some people, I wish I would have said this in the beginning, but the thing about giving your testimony, especially a brother like you, I mean, we all go through our hardships. We all go through our hard times. Some things might not be perceived as difficult as others, but
of course,
you know, man, when it comes to you and just you going through that journey and you giving your testimony, we never know how that's going to reach and touch somebody else. So I commend you, bro, on, you know, being where you're at and being able to be, you know, transparent and bold like how you are, you know. So thank you, bro.
Oh yeah, man, I'm thankful. You know, I'm thankful that God made me this way, really, because I've never been afraid to be where I'm at, when I'm there.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if I don't got a car and I'm taking a bus, I'm okay with. That's where I'm at right now. That doesn't mean that's where I'm gonna forever be.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at right now, and I'm comfortable being there in that moment. You get what I'm saying? Man. I'm not afraid of my journey, and nobody should be, you know. But when we compare journeys against journeys, you get what I'm saying, then that's where you get messed up. You know, if Moses was sitting there thinking about how fast David rose to fame, how fast David became king and everything like that, he would have been discouraged. You get what I'm saying?
Or like how Jesus, you know, some when we read the text, you know, John the Baptist was really bold, but never anywhere do you see Jesus really going at John the Baptist like that. You know, you see where he was bigging him up and making sure everybody knew who and how important he was for, you know, being that voice in the wilderness. But if we can back up, man, you said something that I would like to back up and touch on. You know, you said in the journey 1, you were dealing with fear or doubt as far as being an artist. So how did you overcome those fears and those doubts, you know, to lead you to where you are now?
Man, it was definitely a couple of things to actually overcome it. But I say ultimately, you know, there's 2 big things that happened that ultimately gave me I would say the final push to really step out and do this, right? The first one, I'm not as proud of as the second, right?
Okay, well, I gotta hear the first one. We gotta hear this first one then.
So the first one was because I had a friend who I was really close with as well. And, you know, this is when I was doing music, because I took a 6-year hiatus before I came back to doing music. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one of my closest friends at the time, before the journey and connect and everything, you know, he was like, you know, music just ain't for you. You get what I mean? Essentially, he was just like, you know, I go to college. I believe college is the way. You know what I'm saying? And I can't really move with people who's not on that same path as me. You get what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect or anything like that. It's just, I'm trying to move at a pace that I don't feel like y'all can keep up with in a sense. You get what I'm saying? So essentially he was just like, yeah, you need to hang that all up, and it sparked a fire in me.
Right.
The reason it sparked a fire in me because anyone who knows me knows that when I focus on something and put effort into something, like I lock in. I know how to lock in and work. You get what I'm saying? So like no matter what I touch, I always get better at it. Just give me time. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the epitaph was already written. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. You throwing out big words now. How'd you say the epitaph? Is that what you said, bro? Hold on, man. Hold on. I got a GED, partner. Hold on.
I hope I used it right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We might have to take a definition time break. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's in correlation to your tombstone.
Okay. Okay.
He kind of the final judgment. He kind of said, this is the end of your music. That's it. The final judgment in a sense. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that motivated me because it's like, first of all, you know me and you know that anything I put my mind to, I eventually overcome. So the fact that you didn't believe in this over here, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Straight up, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah.
So that was more so just a revenge of pettiness. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. That's why you're not proud of it. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm not proud of it because I was fueled by rage, revenge.
Hey man, but it's okay.
Man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, we all got growing to do. We all still got growing to do. Like I wanted the moment to come that he was like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, bro. And sometimes that is such a blessing. Baby, don't kill me, my wife. Sometimes I tell my wife, please prove me wrong. Please.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? When you know you right and you just looking for somebody to prove you wrong, because you know you got it. And then, I mean, to take it back to the word, and I'm glad we two good men that can talk about the word like this.
Yeah.
Man, we see it all through the word, you know.
All through the word.
You know, sometimes that vengeance, that fire, true enough, we don't want it to get it to a petty level.
Yeah, correct.
But that vengeance and that fire has led you to be where you are now, where you are, you're reaching folks, you're preaching, you're teaching, you're out here, and you're being a real fisherman. So
I mean, it's like it. You know, not only are you not believing in me, but you're not even believing in the purpose that God put in me.
Yeah.
So you're also saying you don't believe that God can do this for me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, don't you know the God that I serve?
Yeah.
Like you should know me already.
Yeah.
But don't you know the God that you serve as well?
Yeah.
How could you just blatantly feel that way?
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't proud of that, but I had some growing to do. Now the second one, that one was more so my mentor who taught me how to use Pro Tools and everything, Art Wilson. You know, still I call him Unc still to this day. Like
shout out to Unc.
Man, shout out to Unc. That's my guy. You know, he the one who inspired me to even mess with music in the first place. He taught me how to engineer, how to use all of that stuff. Man, he came. This is during the hiatus that I stopped doing music. He came to me and he was like, "Man, the Lord just had me on His heart," and he was like, "You need to get back into music."
Okay.
God been telling me this over and over. I need you to get, man. I broke down in tears because it was like it again, that was done for me in a sense. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like when he told me that, I think if it came from anybody else, I wouldn't have received it the way I received it. But that's how you know our God does things intentionally. There's a way about how he does it that you know it's coming from him. Yeah. You know what I mean? When he told me that, I felt that. And those two things really was just like, all right, enough is enough.
And man, check this out. The way God used him to get you back. Yeah. Maybe God is using you for that guy who doubted you to know the power in a calling.
Come on.
So maybe the way God used him, God is using you for that man.
Yeah.
And so, you look at that man, and I know I can tell you got the heart where you done forgave him. Y'all probably laugh it up. Yeah, right. So, hopefully, when those times come, they can see like, man, God, like they don't look at us, they see what the Lord is doing. So it's still more testimony, dog. But
for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna take another quick break, real quick, get into these commercials. So stay with us, and we'll be back with our brother NEK, aka WesTheTech, with you in Justmic. I'm a Christian artist, a Christian rapper. A little bit more than that, I'm a husband, I'm a truck driver, and bigger than all of that, I'm a servant. So for the last couple years, I've been serving. And my big bro Daryl with his ministry, the Bookkeeper 24/7. Maybe you've seen me, maybe you haven't. But I've been behind the scenes, just helping him out wherever he needs help. And so here recently, he was like, Mike, you need to start your own podcast. He said, I believe in you, what you want to do. So that's what I'm here to tell y'all. I'm starting my own fresh podcast titled Adjustments with Justmic, here on the Bookkeeper 24/7 network. And so what I'm trying to do is sit down with more seasoned saints, could be rappers, could just be other servants, could be pastors, could be people starting their own ministries. Wherever the Lord leads me, that's what I'm trying to do. Sit down with them, ask some questions, get their advice, open up a window to discipleship. As I'm learning, as I'm growing, I hope who's ever watching is learning and growing with me. I hope who's ever watching is ready to make those adjustments so that we're not constantly wrestling in the spirit. And that's what my podcast is going to be about. Sitting down with seasoned saints, learning, growing, and making those adjustments together. So be on the watch out for the first episode about to drop soon. It's also gonna have other guests that's gonna be on other episodes. So I hope that you tune in for adjustments dropping real soon. Yeah. So welcome back. We're still here with our brother NEK, aka WesTheTech. And for anybody who's wondering why, his name is WesTheTech, is because he also does great things through your website, right?
Business coaching. Yeah.
Right. So, if you wonder, he ain't checked out the first pod, don't know a lot about him, that's why. But let's dive into these tracks, man. Really get into them. And I really want to start with the first track after the intro, Never Letting Go.
Never Letting Go.
I got to, man. Being in this space, man.
Yeah. And you see, that's the God of intention right there, because never letting go, in the beginning of the track, you hear the criticism. You hear all of those different things.
And so let me ask you real quick, was those criticisms towards you, or just that was from all the
I keep receipts. I got receipts. The name, the date, everything, everything. Yeah, those are receipts. Those are all receipts, because it's one of those things is, again,